Hi, it's Avalon here from Blossoming Woman, and I left Facebook 1 week ago. So this is a little check-in video to let you know how I'm going and the three main changes that have happened for me that have been highly beneficial since I've left Facebook. So first of all, it's been a while since I knew I needed to leave Facebook, and at the beginning of 2020, I set a date for 11/11, and I actually ran a call about that. So if you haven't seen my Facebook exit strategy call, it's a free resource on my website, blossomingwoman.com.au, because I shared more about what I was doing to prepare and how I was setting up other things and organizing myself to step back from Facebook, because Facebook has in recent years become quite a big part of the way that I've been connecting with people. And it's a huge thing to step back from that, right? So to share a little bit about the process of leaving itself, I knew that I could download my data. So I went into my settings, into my information, and I transferred my photos and videos over to Google Drive, and also requested a file of all my data, like all my posts and a bunch of other stuff, to be sent to me. So I did that a couple of days. I think it was like maybe 1 or 2 days before the 11th. And I thought, oh, that'll be enough time. I knew it would be a big file. Anyway, 11/11 came and I still hadn't received the file of my data. So it was kind of like a bit of a joke. It's like, oh, fuck, I wanted to leave, but I'm still here. I'm just waiting for my data. And so this date also coincided with me facilitating a retreat. So actually on the 12th, my retreat started, went to the retreat, facilitated this beautiful space. And on the Friday the 13th, we did a burning ritual, a releasing ritual in the evening. On Saturday morning at 5 a.m, I woke up just knowing I just need to fucking close this thing and step back from it and detach myself energetically from Facebook altogether, with or without my data. So I got up at 5 a.m, deactivated my account, went back to sleep. I woke up feeling the hugest feeling of relief. That was the biggest thing that I felt. There had been so much inner conflict and inner turmoil for me to be leaving Facebook, and lots of people going, why would you do that? Like, that's where everyone is. How are you going to find people to work with you and all this stuff? And that's the biggest fear that people have when they consider leaving Facebook. There's other ways to stay connected with people, right? So it's about being strategic. So I closed my account, felt this huge wave of relief. And that relief is actually the biggest feeling that has happened for me. And it's like Facebook is so overrated. I do not miss it at all. There have been a couple of moments, because I was a daily user, sounds like a drug, right? I was a daily user. I was on there quite a lot. A lot of people tagging me on things, reaching out to me, commenting, and I was posting fairly often, right? So it was a big part of my life. So there have been a couple of moments when I went to check my phone or go on Facebook, and then, because it's quite automatic to do that, and I would just stop and realize, oh yeah, I haven't got Facebook anymore. And then it would be just this full liberation feeling of, wow, that is so cool. And I would just instantly shift my focus to what actually needs to happen instead of that. And so focus has actually been a big thing that has shifted for me. It's like in Facebook, my brain, and I could feel this when I was in it, it was like my brain was just like getting fragmented and scattered. Every time I went in there, it wouldn't feel good to me. It wouldn't feel good in my head. I'd step back and I'd feel a little bit like I'd just gone through a bit of a tornado, and energetically, that's exactly what Facebook is to me anyway. And so not having that has allowed my brain to relax. It's allowed me to literally reclaim my brain. That's what it feels like. I'm reclaiming my brain. I'm reclaiming my focus, and I'm able to focus on what matters, right? Which does not include Facebook. Facebook does not matter to me at all. And it's fascinating how easily I have adapted to not being on it. It's just been simple. The other thing that's happened is that I have made effort to connect with people in more direct ways. So I also use Instagram and WhatsApp, and I know they're still owned by the Facebook company, but to me, they're very different experiences, and this is a gradual weaning process. I've connected with people locally. I actually had a beautiful conversation with a dynamic, beautiful, powerful woman locally, and we are looking at doing shared projects together, which is really awesome, which is something that I wouldn't have taken action on if I was just sitting there wasting my time on Facebook. The other thing that's related to the relief, it's related to the focus, is that there is a calmness that I'm feeling in myself and about my life. There's a spaciousness. Now, this isn't just about Facebook, because this is actually something that I have deliberately woven in. And, as I mentioned, I've just come out of a retreat, and part of that is about coming into deeper alignment with myself, deeper alignment with my power, and clearing away anything that's in the way of me actually living a beautiful life. So being really intentional. So leaving Facebook is one of those things. I just wanted to share this video just to reassure you that nothing bad has happened for me since leaving Facebook. Granted, I have been strategic about this, right? So I have been intentional. I have created a business that is thriving. I am flourishing in my work. I'm showing up, doing what I'm here for. I actually have not ever bothered to use Facebook ads. Years ago, I kind of did a little bit of dabbling in it, but that hasn't been a part of my income stream at all. I'm much more organic and connected with people, and then, word of mouth and conversations, and I show up and I share epic value. I share free gifts and resources with people, and that's how I attract people in to work with me, and then there's alignment, right? So that's been happening the whole time. So I actually have developed quite a beautiful community, and I also have a private community which is not on Facebook, which is intentionally in a private space, and that's the Divine Mother Temple, where I can connect with women who are also on this path of becoming deeply aligned, shifting the paradigm, stepping out of scarcity and struggle and into divine flow, and also really showing up, being courageous, being truthful, being authentic, and having a safe place where you can really be yourself without all the divisiveness and the judgment that happens on Facebook so easily. It's kind of basically based on division and polarity and stuff like that. So to step back from that, I have not missed it for a second. So that's why I wanted to share this video with you, in case you feel inspired or in case you feel scared. If you haven't watched my Facebook exit strategy, I do recommend doing that, because that may help you to see, there may be some steps that you need to take before just exiting out of Facebook, just cold turkey. But yeah, I just feel such deep relief, so much more spaciousness, richer connections with people that matter to me. And, I'm getting to those little jobs. It feels like, I don't feel like I'm on this constant rabbit wheel of catch up, right? It's when I was in Facebook, it just felt like, and it's kind of symbolic maybe of other shifts I've been making, but it just felt like I was on this kind of catch up. There was always stuff to do. There was always this kind of pressure, but that's just been alleviated, and I'm in deep trust. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling 1 week after closing my Facebook. So because I didn't get my data, I am considering just reactivating for maybe a couple of days in the beginning of December 2020 to see if I can download just my posts, that's it, and maybe just clean up a couple of loose ends. And I'm actually pretty done with it. There's nothing that I need to go in there for. I made it clear that I was leaving. I've connected with everyone I need to connect with. If you're watching this, and we're connected in some way anyway, right? I've got my website, Blossoming Woman. There's the Divine Mother Temple for connecting. And I still have Messenger at the moment, as I'm, as I was kind of in the middle of some projects and planning some stuff with people through Messenger, but I'm mostly moving to WhatsApp and email and the Temple, and there's other apps like Telegram and Signal. And I'm actually having fun on Instagram, because I was kind of not really doing that much. I'm also learning a bit more about LinkedIn to use that better. So yeah, I just feel like I'm using my energy wisely, putting it where it needs to go, and I don't have that Facebook fuckery in my life anymore.